You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. How you doing, Dan?
Oh, pretty darn good. Little yawn, little stretch here. Fire up the old torpedoes. Here we go. Well, this was a game changer this very day, 1836. Samuel Colt patented the first ever multi-shot cylinder revolver, enabling it to be fired multiple times without reloading.
That's a pretty cool idea.
Whoa.
Total game changer. I've always thought about that when you had to reload, everything was like a single shot.
Yeah.
And so you're in a duel with somebody and they miss you.
Oh, you have...
And then they go, give me a second, I have to reload.
No, they have like 4 guns. So you shoot, and you miss, and you shoot, and you miss, you shoot, and you miss, and you shoot, and you finally hit them.
Okay,
And you
thanks,
go,
John.
I need to get better at this if I'm going to get in duels.
Okay, then I would have just tackled him and hit him with a rock. 1919, Oregon, which is that way,
Yeah.
a couple miles from here.
That way.
Oregon becomes the very first state in the union to tax gasoline to the tune of
Oregon.
1 cent per gallon.
Wouldn't that be nice to
Nice
go back to those good old days?
Yeah, so I got to thinking, and right now, South Dakota, you pull up into a pump, Sioux Falls, wherever across the state, the tax is 30 cents per gallon. That's just the state tax. Federal tax on an additional 18.5 cents. So it's almost $0.50 a gallon.
Yeah.
In taxes.
It's pretty high. And I looked up the technical term for that, and it's kind of complicated. It is called theft.
Oh, that
Just thought I'd share that this morning.
Dan, I love how, well, you get technical here.
I know. Write it down. Use it in a sentence today, wherever you go.
There was a really cool, I have to see if I can find it. There was a really cool sticker on gas pumps a while back. There was a gas station that had people complaining about the high price of gas, and they put a sticker on each one of their pumps that showed how much of that gas price they get, which is almost nothing,
Yeah, they don't get much.
and how much the government gets, and how much goes to pay for the fuel costs and delivery and all that stuff.
That's a lot of things anymore.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But this gas station was getting, berated because, it's so
Yeah,
expensive.
well,
They're
good
like,
for
I get like
them.
2 pennies a gallon, man.
Yeah. Good
All
for
right,
them.
coming up in a bit, we'll have Ranger Dan. We'll have some entertainment news, some more fun stuff. And we're going to make a winner today for Tire Motive. So that's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan. What was that?
Are these on? Oh. It's time for Ranger Dan to make an appointment with Ranger Doctor. Yeah, I gotta tell you. Well, what am I seeing here? Heidi, is the lights changing here? What am I looking?
I
You
actually got a spray tan over the weekend.
Oh, look at you! A little darker tone there. I gotta, let me get a little closer here. It gets me into thinking old Ranger Dan's a big fan of a dusky-hued woman. I'd kind of like to take you, rub you down with some cannoli oil, maybe hang you in my smokehouse for a couple weeks. Bag you up, put you on a spit over the old campfire. Slap you on a toasted sesame hoagie roll and cover you with a healthy dose of stone ground mustard, stuff you in my face and wash you down with a 6-pack of hams and maybe a shot of Fireball.
It's getting a little awkward over here. Just,
You kick back, stretch out, look up at the night sky, and come up with an airtight alibi for what I was doing when you went missing. Well, that's all the time we have this morning, little Radio Rangers.
Sure glad we have that on the record.
You know the drill. Go to church, say your prayers, don't be wearing Crocs. Remember, what doesn't kill you just makes you stronger, except for bears. Bears will kill you. Well, Ranger Dan out. Yes, sir.
Again, Ranger Dan's Critter Corner. Remember when we did Critter Knowledge? Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour.
If you struggle to drink without drinking too much, there is help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Time now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. Mr. Dan Farris back in the studio with some really important news.
This is it's interesting, a little different take. You're familiar with Falls Park?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Of course. In fact, I think you guys recently had some beautiful photos taken.
We
did.
It
Yeah,
was
freezing.
freezing cold when we were there.
Falls Park has come a long ways. I remember when I first moved to Sioux Falls back in 1987.
Cesspool back
Yeah,
then.
the locals tell me, stay away from Falls Park. It's all, ne'er-do-wells and dirty filth. And it was. It was kind of a bad space. Like I said,
It was listed as one of America's most favorite places to get stabbed back.
yeah. So there you go. Well, here's where we're at right now. As of last week, the city of Sioux Falls is taking a new approach with its upcoming master plan for Falls Park. In other words, that area ain't done yet.
Oh, really?
They're going to have a design contest that they're I talk good. You see, kids, this is why you stay in school. They're having a
pattern it?
design contest they're stealing from projects
Stealing.
Way better.
in the Twin Cities,
Oh, nice.
of which I am a homie. So, City Sioux Falls plans to invite licensed professionals to compete for the chance to design new improvements at the park.
So you need to be a licensed professional to be a part of this contest?
Apparently, it's similar to the process used in Minneapolis to design the Nicollet Mall and the riverfront. See, when I was growing up in Minneapolis, I watched all that stuff come to be. In fact, I can say this now because it's 40 years after the fact.
Okay.
When they got the Nicollet Mall done,
Yeah.
part of it was they had these fountains.
Okay.
Fountains that, water spraying.
Fountain themselves and stuff?
Yeah. Me, Butch, and Lenny went out one night and we put laundry detergent in them. It was awesome.
Kids, do not try that at home.
It was totally awesome.
Or at the falls.
Yeah. There's my mom the next morning. Where'd the box of Tide go? Turn on the news.
Check the front page of the paper, Mom.
Where was I? Oh. According to the powers that be, and we're talking about Mike Patton here, who's was talking to the city council last week about it, it's an alternative design approach to the typical master planning process. I have no idea what that means, but he says the way this works, it attracts expert designers and new talent, going to attract people who normally may not be interested in a project. It invites fresh ideas and new thinking. Okay, whatever. My question is this.
Yeah.
Who's getting paid?
Well, probably the one that
So you're
they
just
select.
supposed to submit your free stuff? Is this
Yeah.
a request for bid? Is there
Yeah.
money involved here? I don't quite
I got
get
a feeling
this.
it's a thing where you say, hey, I'm going to submit this concept, and if you pick my concept, I get paid.
Then somebody puts a price tag on it or what? And winning design becomes actually the property of the city of Sioux Falls. Wait a minute. There will be a request for proposals this spring. Use of a committee to work through the process. Up to 4 firms will be chosen to compete and will be given $10,000 each towards their work.
Huh.
So just for the design work, I guess.
Okay.
So you need to be a licensed designer.
Yeah, professional, yeah. And I don't know if they're talking just landscaping overall or what all this entails, because I'm not exactly sure what they're looking to improve. But out of that $10,000, I would probably use half of that to see what kind of a Febreze you could use instead of like a sprinkler system.
Yeah, to make it smell a little better down there. I'm liking where you're going there.
I'm working on I'm on the website right now, getting our license so we can be licensed, the John Dan Heidi Design Company.
Yeah, so if this
John Dan Heidi.
Yeah, so this is something that you think might be right down the pike for you in your wheelhouse. Just call the city, tell them somebody sent you. I do not want my name involved.
Well, thank you for that report, Dan.
You bet. Boy, that was riveting.
Real news, fake newscaster.
I think for tomorrow's show, I'm going to actually do a little research.
I believe that when I hear it. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.
Do you have a lucky shirt? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has several lucky shirts to wear next month for St. Patrick's Day. Or if it's a really lucky shirt, you can wear it every day. Green shirts, 4-leaf clovers, Irish sayings, and more. Don't wait. If you order your lucky shirt right now, it can be here in time to wear for St. Patrick's Day. Find t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with Roger Russell. We're going to talk about a product called the Sump Detective. And this time of year, it's starting to get a little warmer out. We've got some puddles here and there. And really soon, it's going to get a lot warmer. And all this snow is going to melt. That's when people start to have flooding problems. And if you would like some help making sure that doesn't happen, you can reach out and talk to Roger, right?
That's correct, yes.
So let's talk about the Sump Detective and explain to folks how this product actually works.
What the Sump Detective is, it's essentially a unit that we install, and it is installed onto the water discharge pipe on your sump pump. And what it does is it's got a couple floats on there. You can mount it, or we can mount it, or install it so that it can tell you that your sump pump's running. And then it can also tell you if your sump pump's not running, it will alert you with the second float, meaning the water is risen above the sump pump, and that you better check your pump or your pit rather quickly because you might have a potential issue there with the water rising and possible failure of the sump pump.
So this is an early warning system to help me prevent the flooding and save a lot of money and a lot of hassle and headaches, too.
The thing about the product also is that you don't have to have a sump pump. It can be mounted in a sump pit without a sump pump, and there's ways of doing that. The nice thing is with a locally owned company that you can deal with, we can customize this to your application. So if you don't have a sump pump and you don't have the discharge pipe going up, we can certainly make something that you could still have this down inside the hole, down inside the sump pit, and at which time if the water rises, if you have drain tile, you have several hours to get back home or go downstairs, see what's going on, because it will alert you between 45 and 60 seconds typically on your phone, up to 2 phones. It'll notify you. You can see what the situation is in your pit.
And this would be a really handy thing for people while you're away, so that way you'll get notified and you could get home and fix the problem before it's a major problem.
That's exactly right. And when we go camping every year, I can actually set one of the phone numbers for me for alerts. I can set the other one for my son, who lives just a couple miles away from us. We both receive the alert. If he's here in town, he can cruise down to our house, get in, go down, assess the problem, and give me a call. So it is very handy. It works off Wi-Fi. You do get text messages, though, but we can also build a sump detective that is just GSM, which does not require Wi-Fi. So there's the options there of different things that we can do for somebody.
So, Roger, when I move, do I take this thing with me, or do I leave it in the house?
You certainly could leave it there. As far as real estate goes, I know real estate very well because that's a business that I'm in, and I have been for a long time. It could be an incentive for somebody, if they move into the house, you can say, hey, we've got the sump detective already installed in the sump pit. Here's how it works. So it could be left there as an incentive to the new buyer, or it could be taken with and just reprogrammed at the new house off the different router and password at the new house.
So for anybody listening that would like to get a sump detective, how do they find these things? They're available online in a store? Where do I go?
It is available through us personally. You can log on to devisehomesolutions.com. We also have it on Amazon. So you can search Amazon. You can search under Sump Detective, and it will pull up. We're working on some places here in town, so hopefully we can get some partnerships here locally, especially with all the flooding that we had last year. We can work with some places locally here where hopefully we can have it on some store shelves here sooner than later is what our hope would be there.
We're going to make it really easy to find the Sump Detective. We'll throw a link to that on our Facebook page. Now, in addition to the Sump Detective, there's other products from Devise as well, and part of that is the technology, right?
In addition to installing the product and setting the product up, we really feel that the interface part of it, the back end, or what we call our dashboard, is the most powerful part of this whole thing, because eventually, whichever products we come out, we're going to try and incorporate them all into this dashboard. So if you have a Sump Detective, you can log in, you can see it on your dashboard, see the activity. If you have a Garage Detective that's available, you can also see if your garage doors open or closed. If you have other devices that we're going to come out with in the future, those are also going to be in that dashboard. So it's a very robust system on the back end of things, too. And that's simply on the website and connected through your account that you set up online.
Roger, that's really, really cool. We're going to make it easy to find all of this. We've got a link to the information for Devise Home Solutions on our Facebook page. They're based right here in the Sioux Falls area. You can find their info. There's a link at facebook.com/sunnyradio and a link at facebook.com/Sioux Falls News.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
It's time right now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Hey, celebrities are fabulous. What's going on in the box office? What's the last movie you guys actually went out and watched?
Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, it was.
Ford versus
We're
Ferrari.
thinking about going to Joker tonight. You want to join us?
Someone should, because nobody else is. We'll get to that in just a moment. Here's the box office scores over the course of the weekend. Sonic the Hedgehog, which kind of amazes me because it's based on a video.
Yeah.
That whooped up another $6.5 million, grand total so far, $107 million after a couple weeks of release. That's pretty astounding.
Yeah.
Call of the Wild, Han Solo is in that, right?
I think so. Yeah.
What is it? What's his name?
Ford.
Right. Yeah, boy, things aren't looking good for Call of the Wild. A Man and His Dog did $8 million over the weekend, and but it's still at number 2.
I had to read that in high school. Did you have to read that? Do you remember?
Not in high school. Call of the Wild, I want to say.
May not have been written yet.
Wow, John. Wow. Wow. Wow.
There's a gap between when you went to school and when you went to school.
Yeah.
I don't know when it came out.
I think it was the first draft. There were some stick figures on a wall cave I tripped across.
I'm sorry, Dan. I didn't mean it that way.
Unbelievable.
I'll be quiet now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we didn't have books. I had to follow smart people around.
Sorry.
I don't even know why I bother anymore. There's a perfectly good shuffleboard game going on at Trail Ridge right now.
What was the rest of that report, Dan?
Birds of Prey at number 3. That's the fantabulous emancipation of Haley Quinn.
Yeah.
Whatever. Bad Boys for Life, man, huge. It's just going gangbusters. Almost $200 million.
Jeepers.
So far. But I'm going to jump right to the one you brought up. You wanted to see the new movie with your friends, and you've actually met these guys, the Impractical Jokers.
Oh, yeah.
Who've had their own TV series for a number of years now, and they do live shows around the country. Opening weekend, they just opened Impractical Jokers, the movie, on just 357 screens, and it didn't even crack $1 million.
Oh, no.
$950,000.
See, they should have done the interview with us.
Total
we had an interview
gross.
scheduled, and then it just got canceled.
Yeah, did not crack the top 10. It's at number 11, actually. So
I'm going to have to call Murr and rub that in.
There you go. You know, back when I was a kid, I couldn't have called Mer because we didn't have telephones. We were still doing smoke signals.
I'm so sorry, Dan. That is not how I meant it. You know that, right?
Just let me put my teeth back in this glass and I'll be moving on.
You want some coffee and a donut? No, I'll go with you.
Nothing with any sodium or caffeine, no. Blood pressure just explodes.
Well, thank you for that report, Dan.
Whatever.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.